Okay, this is chapter 9.7, and we're going to graph and analyze relationships. If we look at the problem, Sarah is making hot cocoa for a party. We like hot cocoa. For each mug of cocoa, she uses 3 tablespoons of cocoa. Let's try this. 3 tablespoons looks like that of cocoa and 6 fluid ounces, which is FLOZ, fluid ounces of water. Water like H2O. And cocoa, which hot chocolate. Okay. So for every 1 cup, she uses 3 tablespoons of cocoa and 6 fluid ounces of water. If Sasha uses an entire 18 tablespoon container of cocoa mix, how many fluid ounces of water will she use? So basically we have to make a little chart like this. And for each cup of water, we're going to add for each cup, we're going to add the things that go into it. So we have the cocoa, and we have the water, the hot water, the fluid ounces. And for each one, it's 3. So we have to kind of just fill in this chart. 3, 6. And then the next one is 3 more, but that's 6. And the next one is 6 more, which is 12. You know the drill. We're adding 6 to this one. We're adding 3 to this row. So it's 3, 6, 9, 12. It looks like I need one more. I'm going to squeeze it in. The book, they skipped it. And a lot of times they do that on purpose because they need you to figure out the relationship, the multiplication relationship. So I guess we could look at that. They didn't, they just went straight to 18, and they skipped over 15. And I guess that's important to note. When you're counting by 6, 12, 18, 24. But then we can't just jump 6, we'd have to jump twice, which would be 12. But let's just take a look here. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. So we're really multiplying. We're doubling everything. So 18 times 2 is 36. You could use your calculator for that if you don't know it. And then we have to change, that's the first step, is just to fill out the chart. And it's tricky. It doesn't tell you everything you need to know in the book. You just need to recognize that you're adding 3 each time because there's 3 tablespoons of cocoa for each cup. And then that you're also adding 6 ounces of water for each cup. So you're counting by 6s down here. But your relationship between the cocoa and the water, this relationship is a multiplication relationship. Okay, so here we're adding these 2. And here we're multiplying between the cocoa and the water. Okay, so just take a minute for that to get in your brain. I know we've done a few of these already, so it should be there. What they want us to do is that they want us to make ordered pairs out of these. And so the ordered pairs are going to look like 3, 6. Like that. 3, 6, and then 6, 12. And then 9, 18, etc. And you're just going to keep going until you get all the ordered pairs. So you're going to keep doing that. And then you're going to graph and label the ordered pairs. Now they showed you that the cocoa goes down here and that the water goes on the vertical axis. And you know, this is a line pointing forever in this direction, the y-axis, and this is a line pointing forever in that direction, the x-axis. Okay, and the first one is always this bottom one. So we need to make sure we recognize the first one is cocoa, and that cocoa is along the bottom. And we're going to just count by 3s. And I think I'm going to skip one every time. I'm going to go 3, skip 1, 6, skip 1, 9, skip 1, etc. That should do it. You have room 9, 12, 15. Yeah, you've got enough room there, and this is kind of 0. This is 0, 0. And then as I climb up this way, I'm going to not be able to skip. I'm going to have to go 3. Well, I guess it makes sense to count by threes, and that's what they're doing in your book. 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on, all the way up. And then you have to start the next step. Step 3 is to label your graph. So we're going to go put in 3 and 6, which is over 3 and up to 6. And then we're going to go over to this one, which is 6 and 12, so it's over 6 and up to 12. And then we're going to keep going like that. We have to put the 9 and 18 in, and you have to fill out your graph, or you have to do it on your own. And then what you can see is that we're going to create a straight line. And it's always going to create a straight line. Now, it's not always going to be exactly diagonal. It could be, this direction or really flat. So it could even be this direction. But we're always going to have, when we have this relationship between two things, we're always going to have a straight line on a graph, and it's something that you're going to get really good at. And it does ask you, what rule can you write that relates to the amount of cocoa to water? The amount of cocoa to water, well, the cocoa, this is a little confusing because our first response would be to say that there's twice as much water as cocoa. They asked us to relate the cocoa to water, which is the opposite of twice as much. So it would really be half as much. There's half as much cocoa as there is water. We can see that here. There's 6 is half of 12. We can see that over here. 9 is half of 18. So that's a fraction, and that's how that's working. And that's how this whole assignment goes. You're going to have to go through and figure out the relationship, how to add along this direction, how to multiply from one to the other, and find the rule. You have to build your ordered pairs. These are called ordered pairs. And then you have to be able to apply your ordered pairs to your graph. This point right here is 3, 6. This point up here is 6, 12. That's the point right here. And there's a location all over for each number. And so you can always put something together this way. All right, this is going to work out just fine.